What is up, YouTube? I'm back again with another tutorial. Today we'll be doing a South Dallas shag with a high taper on my boy AJ. Man, it feels good to be back on YouTube and recording my videos. It's been a long time, man. It's been a really long time, but I'm super excited to be back, man. I got a lot in store, so let's just kick it off right away. We're going in with the number 3 guard, and we're going with the grain. Of course, obviously, AJ has the waves up top, and we don't want to patch him or make his hair appear thinner than what it is. So you always make sure you go with the grain unless directed otherwise on waves.
I got a feeling she ain't right for me. Plotting up on me, I'm plotting on the hills. Make me a Billy, go missing. Cut off the toxic people. Damn, that's most of my.
So we're gonna go in with our first bald guideline, and I usually like to do that right at the top of the ear for a high taper.
What I'm focused on, I keep it 100. The prestige I used to feel down, now it's looking up. Change the way I think, so I really just don't give a fuck. That ain't your.
Then we're gonna go in with our second guideline above the beard. I usually like to do that about middle of the ear to give the beard a more drastic blend. And I'm just going back up into the general taper area, making sure everything is bald and smooth for the super shaver to come in and clean everything up.
Keep respect over money, I'm the only type of friends.
Going in with my super shaver now, I am going up to the line and flicking out so that I do not create another harsh guideline.
Next 5 hold, same type of feel you get when the rent's due and the bread's low. Latex from our wood.
Alright, and jumping right into it, we're gonna do a no guard clipper open on the JRL Fresh Fade 2020s. And we're just gonna follow that initial guideline we put in with the trimmers.
Look how I'm working, I'm about to run it up fast. These niggas broken, they ain't getting no cash. They owe me down, I can do that with ease. My whole team winning, pulling up in Tesla, shit's an SRTs. Fast cars, baby, push the start, baby.
Then after you create that secondary guideline, it's time to take it out. What I usually do is go down to 1 notch on the clipper, or clipper almost all the way closed, and then attack that bottom guideline. Go in with a little bit of lever play, open close until you get the desired look you're going for. Then I like to come in with the trimmers to take out that bottom guideline, using only the corners because you do not want to raise that blend any higher than it needs to be. Then in a scooping motion, I like to come in and place that third guideline with the 1.5 guard, scooping out at the end so that you do not dig in and actually cut into his wave pattern. So then I like to hop in with the 1 guard fully open to start softening up that bottom line so that we can bring this taper together. Once I feel like I got it soft enough, I like to close it up and attack that bottom line with the 1 guard closed, and just make sure that you're scooping out because you don't want to create any more guidelines, and we're just softening it up for that half guard to come in and bring everything together. Once you get that softened up enough, I like to come in with the half guard, and usually I like to start halfway open and work my way down from there because, like I said, you don't want to raise this blend up. Usually starting out with the half guard all the way open can kind of be a safety net if it's your first time cutting someone's hair and you don't really understand their hair density or the way the hair grows. It could be a good way to kind of prevent you taking it too low or raising their blend higher. But with AJ here, I've been cutting his hair for a while, so I know kind of what I can and can't get away with. Also, you could see that I'm only using the corners and I'm always flicking out. Now once you finish your blend, it's time to come back in and detail the blend with pretty much what everyone calls trigger play. And all that means is finding kind of your open, your close to get any dark spots or any lines that you see and just kind of take that blend to the next level. Then after the details work's done, I like to come in with clipper over comb to remove the excess bulk and weight off of the blend. This is a good way to blend the hair in without having to take a guard up there and risk messing up the client's wave pattern. With clipper over comb, you want to always make sure you're going at a 45-degree angle off of the head. Never put the comb flat to the head, as you may risk patching a client. And then I'm going to go in with my 1.5 guard to knock out that remaining weight. You can see it's really barely taken off anything, but I like to go over my steps. Then I like to flip it upside down, open it up, and keep attacking that line so we can get that perfect blend. Once I get those sides blended out, I come straight into the beard work. We're using a number 2 here, and with beards they can be tricky because the hair grows in different directions, so you always want to make sure you're attacking that beard at all the different angles you can think of to give it an even blend. Once you get it all evened out, I like to come in with no guard, clipper open, then halfway, then open again, and just kind of flick at it, giving it a soft blend so that I can prep it to come in with my guards. Once I knock out that first guideline, I like to come in with the clipper closed with a 1 guard, and I'm going to attack that line that you see by the ear. Once you go down further in the beard, make sure that you open your clipper up, and then after that, just attack it with lever play. Lever play is essential when blending because if done correctly, you can skip guard, detail your blends better, and ultimately save time on your haircuts. Right now I'm coming in with the half guard to finish off the blend, and I'm doing that halfway open as a safety net. As I go lower in the beard, I'm obviously going to open it up and continuously flick out. Now that I have that blended to my liking, I like to come in and outline the back of the beard following his natural shape. Always make sure you go to the line and pull away from the line and use those corners in tight areas where the whole blade won't fit. When I go in to do the bottom of the beard, I like to have my clients tilt their head back slightly so I can get an unobstructed view. Also, this is a very sensitive area, so if you have 0 gap clippers, I recommend that you go in with a very light touch because you run a risk of cutting them or pulling their hair. Or if you have a pair of clippers that maybe aren't as sharp as a 0 gap, I'd recommend you using those on the bottom of the beard as well. After I get that cleaned up, I like to come in with the super shaver and make that thing baby smooth. Make sure you consult with your client before using the super shaver. Some people can't handle the super shaver, their skin may be too sensitive or their hair may be too coarse, and it'll cause discomfort, ingrown hairs, or razor bumps. Alright, and the top of the beard is pretty much self-explanatory. You can kind of see the line where it naturally sits at, so you just want to put your clippers on there and lightly trace that line. No need to go too crazy because you know we're going to come in with the razor and really define that line. But right here I'm just kind of going in, shaping it, turning my trimmers upside down and removing all the excess hair, getting it prepped for the super shaver and eventually the razor. Alright, and once you get that cleaned up, I like to come in and start with my vertical bars. Just pretty much lightly tapping and pulling away from the hairline. Like I said, you don't have to go too hard and you don't have to do nothing too crazy because we're going to come back in with the razor blade and clean that up. Alright, and for the right side of the head, it's going to be the same steps we used for the left side. So I'm going to let you guys sit back, watch, and enjoy some music. Alright, jumping into this mustache, guys, I like to first outline the bottom of the lip, make sure there's no hair hanging over, but also making sure that we keep that line as close to the lip as possible. Going in with the trimmers upside down, you want to just press down right to that natural line of the mustache. But you always want to make sure you consult with your client first, because not everybody wants to keep their mustache as thick as it naturally grows. Now coming in with the 1.5 guard, we're going to go in and knock down the bulk of our hairline so we can prep it for our lineup. Alright, and then we're going to come in with a gotta be glued holding spray to make sure we freeze that hairline in place. With curly hair, you run into the problem of the curls running away from the trimmers when you're lining it up. So a good holding spray is a preventive measure for that, and always make sure that your hairline will stay put and you can get the sharpest line as possible. And just like every other lineup in the video, you always want to make sure you go to the line and pull down. Follow the natural shape of the hairline and contour it to the head. Then I'm going to jump right in and do my enhancements with my Tune 45 Sean Cuts Hair enhancement card. Shout out to Sean, man, you really changed the game with this one. The color that I'm using is also Tune 45, no drip. It is the black brown color, and I'm just doing light and even coats on that because you can always come back in and add more. After I finish spraying, I like to come in with a brush and kind of brush that color in to help the enhancements blend a little bit better. And then I'm going to immediately come in with alcohol and a Q-tip and clean up any excess dye I have on my client's skin and help that hairline be that more defined. Jumping right into the eyebrows, we're going to treat it like every other lineup and just follow the natural shape and clean everything up. If you're a barber that doesn't offer eyebrows but you can line someone up, it's the same thing and you'll make more money on your services. Your clients will feel better and your end results will always look better. So I highly recommend giving it a try. As far as back of the neck goes, we're going to pull down a little bit of that hair to make sure the neckline is extra crispy and really make that shag pop out. Make sure that you follow the natural line of the neck. Then you're going to go in and pick out the back of the shag so that we can trim it down and give it a nice shape. Then I'm going to go in with my 9-inch curved shears and start shaping the back of the shag. Jumping into the razor work, you want to make sure you recline your client, and with that opposing hand, always make sure that you keep tight tension on the skin and just let that blade glide. You want to make sure that you keep your razor angled at a 45-degree angle, because anything higher you will cut your client. If you're new to razor work or it's something you're just now getting into, I would recommend you grab a balloon, shaving cream, and get you a straight blade and just practice your angles on that, because a pop balloon is a lot better than a cut client.
Yeah, I fucked up and I took you for granted, but you should have knew what it was. I wasn't no lover, baby, no lover boy. I was grinding, simply just trying to get rich. Blame it on the fact that I grew up with no help and no love. I was lost in this shit, losing you, girl. It was hard for me. I felt alone. I had nobody. I had nobody.
And that is the final cut, you guys. Thank you for sticking it through. If you made it through the full 15 minutes, or if you like this cut, please like, comment, share, subscribe. I appreciate everything. Follow all my socials at JB2Nasty on all platforms. Until next time, peace.